on every vinyl they label it side A and side B. Okay, which side क्योंकि वो इंडेक्स करते हैं ना, उस पे कहीं नहीं
Got it.
लिखा साइड ए साइड बी क्या
Oh.
है. What they've done is there was a thing in Interstellar in which in the last scene where Cooper is indicating the entire data to Morse in Morse
Hmm.
code.
Hmm.
What they've done is they have entered side A in Morse, like side A and side B in Morse code. So
That is
बहुत ही
amazing.
इंटरेस्टिंग चीजें हैं यार.
Oh, awesome. So we talked a lot about orchestra and yeah, while we were talking about the live uh, orchestra music and the performances
है.
etc. ना, I was thinking about ये जो digital versus vinyl वाली चीज अभी आ गई है that you know a lot of people are moving towards that and there's a craze that has come back कि यार अब मुझे speakers
हाँ
में नहीं सुनना है I'll have to move to vinyl again. Why is that and like do you know कि क्यों हो रहा है ऐसा?
हाँ. So I'll tell you one thing. Look, we started from, I think, I mean, I know it was floppy disk first, when music came on Walkman, and then CDs, cassettes, tapes, CDs, then पेन ड्राइव्स जिसमें आई थिंक हम लोगों ने काफी सुने हैं गाने डाउनलोड कर करके टॉरेंट से. बट
हाँ.
देन वी वेंट टू डिजिटल, राइट.
Yep.
सो डिजिटल में ना यार, क्या, what I have seen the issue, not issues, but
Hmm. Hmm.
why people are again shifting to buy vinyls. That's a very good point. Particularly vinyls, why not CDs, tapes, and all that stuff, right?
Hmm.
So first is we have to understand that whatever music that we're listening to on Spotify, on YouTube, or जो भी होता है, it's not owned, of course, either by ourselves or whatever it is. We are renting that kind of music. Like, of course, it's like that,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
Because
Hmm.
if you listen to a song on YouTube, the artist gets paid, and um,
Hmm.
it's a rental music job. It's a normal thing, right? वो एक चीज
Sure.
है.
Sure.
Second is because it's on this थोड़ा सा technical side, अगर हम बोले कि they're on cloud servers or whatever you want to call it, right? They
Hmm.
have to, uh, yeah, of course, they want to give the best quality, but at a compressed rate, right? They have to save space when it comes to music. And
Hmm.
how do they save that space when they upload? Is by
Hmm.
compressing the kind of notes and the kind of tunes that won't go as such noticed
Hmm.
when
Hmm.
doing that kind of music, right? Um, but vinyl, what it gives, यार Aditya, देखो tapes, ठीक है, मतलब I'm not very aware of कि because I know कि CD cassettes का तो इतना नहीं है, but CDs का थोड़ा बहुत क्रेज अभी भी, जैसे आयरलैंड में अभी भी है. People still buy CDs थोड़ा बहुत. But
Hmm.
vinyls
Hmm.
का ना क्या है कि what I've heard is there is no, how do you say, there is no room, or they don't need to impress the music at
Right.
all. It
Right.
comes however जैसा बना है, वो जैसे नोट्स के साथ बना है, जैसा भी बना है, बिकॉज
Hmm.
उनके पास में वो होती है, लाइक दे हैव द फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी कि अगर एक पे, जैसे एक फाइनल पे ना एवरेज आई थिंक एक साइड पे इट्स अराउंड 20 minutes ऑफ म्यूजिक दैट कैन कम ऑन एन एवरेज. एक साइड पे जितना आता है, आई थिंक 10, या आई थिंक इट्स 20 minutes ऑफ म्यूजिक दैट
Okay.
कैन कम ऑन अ साइड, राइट. तो वाइनल्स पे क्या होता है ना, दे हैव लाइक इन सीडीज एज वेल, दे डोंट हैव एनी लिमिट ऑन कि कि इतना ही स्पेस होगा, इतना ही होगा, थोड़ा ज्यादा भी हो
Hmm.
सकता है, कम भी हो सकता है. दैट्स व्हाट आई नो. तो
Hmm.
मतलब
Hmm.
एक पूरी एल्बम को वो 3 वाइनल्स में भी कर सकते हैं. अभी मैं आई जस्ट शो इट टू यू. तो देयर इज एंड द मेन थिंग इज you
Hmm.
are, I'll come back to the main point again. You are feeling and holding music in your hands.
Yeah.
It's a very I would say
Hmm.
maybe a weird thing to say, but you can actually feel the music in your hand when it comes
Hmm.
to vinyl especially.
Hmm.
And I'll show you एक नई चीज भी काफी आ गई है vinyls में. So
Hmm.
things like, one second, Okay, so one of my famous, one of, I mean, ये I think ये तो बहुत लोगों का famous है, is Interstellar.
Yeah.
I
Oh
can't
wow.
imagine, I can't imagine ever, यार Interstellar music we listen to, but you're holding Interstellar music. Because
Yeah.
it's a small thing, but so that's the Interstellar. When you open it, you see, I mean, you've got the entire album art and everything that
Oh
comes with it.
wow, man.
And and I'll tell you a very interesting thing over here is this vinyl is transparent in color. Okay,
Oh, I have
it's
never seen a
transparent in color.
transparent one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
A
wow.
transparent vinyl. Okay,
Nice.
and a
Oh.
very interesting part that they've done on this vinyl, I'll tell you, is
Uh, uh,
there was a on every vinyl they label it side A and side B. Okay, which side क्योंकि वो index करते हैं ना, उस पे कहीं नहीं
got it.
लिखा side A side B क्या
Oh.
है. What they've done is there was a thing in Interstellar in which in the last scene where Cooper is indicating the entire data to Morse in Morse
Hmm.
code.
Hmm.
What they've done is they have entered side A in Morse, like side A and side B in Morse code. So
That is
बहुत ही
amazing.
इंटरेस्टिंग चीजें हैं यार, ये जो चीजें हैं ना, एंड दिस नेवर गेट्स रूइंड. लाइक इट गेट्स रूइंड इफ यू स्क्रैच इट. ऑफ कोर्स अगर तुम
Huh.
इस पे वो कर दोगे तब भी बस वो एरिया होगा, बाकी ठीक चलेगा. They
Hmm.
say people say that you can wash a vinyl as well.
Oh
It
wow.
won't get. Actually तो नहीं होता है, but I don't know how much true that is. Um, but you feel I'm holding music by Interstellar. I mean, it's as simple as that. And the quality that I'll get in this, because it's expanded in its form. It's all gonna be in its original form. So ये ना छोटी छोटी चीजें people are feeling कि यार देखो डिजिटल तो यार है ही ठीक है everyday के लिए, but what about feeling having that music in your hand. बहुत ही
Hmm.
all these things they do, ये सारी चीजें I think that gets figured. And I
Hmm.
was amazed, um, because since we are talking on that subject, so I'll just
Yeah. Yeah.
take a few more moments on this. I'll
Sure.
showcase you some of the interesting things in vinyls that I have. It's a unpopular opinion, but
Hmm.
Oppenheimer music was good for me, but it was not as good as Interstellar. But so this is an Oppenheimer vinyl, right? It's got three vinyls in it. The music is really good, but उसका music है ही इतना बड़ा कि
Hmm.
it's come on six sides of vinyls.
Wow.
So and when you open it, so if you see
Hmm.
this, that's one side, and that's
Hmm.
so you see the entire
Oh.
thing. All these things are very पता नहीं यार, vinyls में people are realizing now कि it's a lost art. CDs,
Yeah.
because they used to break and all that stuff, it's a very small thing. But vinyls में album art एक तो लोग सजाते भी हैं उसको.
Sure.
So it's
Hmm.
like that. So you've got like this is the traditional vinyls that comes right in black
Huh.
and
Huh.
all that stuff. So ये सारी चीजें are influencing, I would say, even the newer generation. I'm talking about like I'm too old, but no. Um, but vinyls like so you see these kind of vinyls.
Oh wow,
It's
man.
magenta, and it's a rare vinyl of Queen concert in Brazil. So it's
Wow.
pink in color. Linkin Park, what it did recently is it
Huh.
released a best of album kind of uh, about Linkin Park stuff. And so this, I would say, the transparent one, and you've got a splatter edition of Linkin Park.
That's
So all
beautiful,
these
yeah.
things are these are very limited edition pieces to, I would say, 15 or 16,000 globally. So people are very intrigued कि यार ये सब क्या है. One of my famous ones is a Top Gun one. It's Simon and Garfunkel
Ah,
का भी है, and it's white in color.
yeah. Ah, it's look
So
nice.
again, so these are all collectible things that are now gaining popularity. And I would
Yeah.
suggest, and I would say, of course, the quality is one thing that people are buying it for, but I think it's more about, you know, वापस वो ट्रेडिशन वापस आ रहा है कि यार मतलब आप I mean you can actually इसके frames आते हैं that you can
Yeah.
display your
Yeah.
vinyls on walls. I'm like यार ये क्या था यार. So that's what coming back now I think, and it should as well. I like it.
And that's great, man. You have so many of them. तो ये क्या सारे तुमने डबलिन से लेके आए आए हो, या फिर डू यू गेट वाइनल्स इन इंडिया एज वेल समवेयर सम प्लेस और ऑनलाइन?
Yeah, you do. You do. I've got a lot of them from Dublin. We source
Hmm.
it and sell it ourselves as well.
Oh,
It's a site
wow,
called
man.
vinylrecordvault.in. Of course, it takes a while for the deliveries to come because we import our entire stock that comes from UK and Ireland, right?
Okay.
In India, तुम्हें मिलेगा ऑफ कोर्स, बट जहां से भी मिलेगा इट्स ऑल इट्स गोइंग टू बी इम्पोर्टेड फ्रॉम सम अदर, इट्स आइदर गोइंग टू बी इम्पोर्टेड फ्रॉम द यूएस और आई वुड से सम अदर यूरोपियन कंट्री, बिकॉज वहीं पर काफी कल्चर और वहीं पर बन रहे हैं न्यूअर आर्टिस्ट के भी। तो आई
Hmm.
हैव लाइक इन बैंगलोर इज अ बिग हब फॉर वाइनल्स एज वेल, तो वहां भी मिलते हैं। बट
हाँ, हाँ।
बट आई वुड से इंडिया में ना मेजर इशू अभी अवेलेबिलिटी की है। मतलब
अच्छा।
इतने there are no vinyl stores as such. There are huge vinyl stores in लंदन में भी है, but Dublin has some of the huge like इतने बड़े vinyl stores हैं। And मेरे को लगता था कि यार I'm gonna be the youngest one when I go there, but that's actually not true. When you see the
हाँ।
crowds in vinyl stores, it's still younger generation. I would say younger than me as well. Can you imagine? So they are coming into vinyls, and of course, then there are people who still buy a lot of vinyls, who gift a lot of vinyls. So I think it's a really nice gifting thing. If you're, if someone who loves music, उसको vinyl दो। I
हाँ।
mean, मैं तो बोलूंगा गिफ्ट करो ताकि लोग वापस प्लेयर खरीदने शुरू करें। But
हाँ, हाँ।
so these are all, of course, these are all passion things. These are all passion projects on the side, and they are expensive. Not gonna lie,
या।
of course, vinyl is an expensive thing. That's why people buy very selective artists that
हम्म।
of their vinyls. So yeah,
या।
I would say in India तो कम है अभी, but I'm sure बढ़ेगी। मैं कोशिश कर रहा हूँ, हम कोशिश कर रहे हैं और आए,
श्योर
and
मैन, श्योर।
hopefully popularity.
श्योर। सो लाइक अभी बिकॉज यू आर इन द बिजनेस ऑफ दैट, हाउ डू यू सी कि अभी तक तुमको कितने
हाँ।
ऑर्डर्स आते हैं, एंड इज इट लाइक ग्रोइंग, डिक्लाइनिंग, और वाज इट के डू यू हैव रिपीट कस्टमर्स, और डू यू सी दैट एक्साइटमेंट ग्रोइंग अप, या फिर पहले आया तो पीपल ट्राइड एंड नाउ इट्स डाइंग डाउन, हाउ इज इट गोइंग ऑन?
Yeah, so I was actually very surprised uh, by what people like, what are their purchasing patterns and all. Why?
हाँ।
I'll tell you. So I started my page, Vinyl Record Vault. Basically, it was nothing but just what do you call this vinyl playing, like small videos of vinyl playing, and then people started to ask where did it come from. So I thought I'll give it a try, and that's I was like, let's give it a try. मैं देखता हूँ, I'll get some stock over here. I'll try selling it over here. And
हम्म।
to my surprise, there are people. People listen to some of the artists. I don't know where do they find it even, and where do they even find those kind of artists coming from. We get a lot of
राइट।
custom orders as well. Like, can you get
हाँ।
us? Can you, source us this kind of vinyl, this particular vinyl?
हम्म।
And most of my audience is not 50-year-old people. It
हम्म।
is people between 22, 24, up until 40, I would say.
दैट्स इंटरेस्टिंग।
And and the very interesting thing to see here is people are ready to wait as well. People are ready to wait a month or 2 months because इंडिया में ना सोर्सिंग की प्रॉब्लम है। आना कहाँ से आएगा ये वन, दैट्स व्हाट वी सॉल्व। सो
या।
because time लगता है, because we also on our website says that if you order something it's going to take around two, we're not Amazon, if you're considering Amazon, no हम नहीं है। तो आपको जाना पड़ेगा बाहर से लंदन या वहां पर जहाँ आपको मिल जाएगा अगले दिन। बट
हाँ, हाँ, हाँ।
फाइनेंस हम जब लाते हैं तो इट टेक्स अराउंड 2 to 4 weeks टू कम टू योर डोर। बट दैट्स व्हाट माय सरप्राइज इज, कई बार लेट भी हो जाता है ना, एंड व्हेन वी टेल
हम्म।
पीपल कि यार लेट होगा, देयर लाइक दैट्स फाइन बट जस्ट गेट इट फॉर अस।
Yeah,
तो
because they know it's
it's
very rare
very
for them to get it. That's why I think they are happy to
rare,
wait.
yeah, it's rare, and rare of popular artists. देखो, I know there are places in Goa, Kolkata, because there Goa, कि काफी छोटे छोटे स्टोर्स हैं, सेकंड हैंड थोड़े बहुत, people exchange, people get, वो मिलते हैं। But people are ready to wait. People are, it's growing. That's what I see. मतलब यहाँ इंडिया में अवेलेबिलिटी का इशू है बिकॉज ओवर द इयर्स नाउ डिस्पोजेबल इनकम हैज इंक्रीज राइट ओवर
Yeah,
द
yeah,
इयर्स नाउ महंगाई बढ़ी है ऑफ कोर्स दैट्स अ डिफरेंट डिबेट बट disposable income भी people have started to spend on things on travel on luxuries and this
yeah.
does come under I would say even luxury so um so that's what I say people this definitely will grow more and it's of course a big thing in the US, in the European market. It's there are big stores of it. I have a very small story. So I'll
Hmm.
tell you one of my things about vinyl and place I want to go is there's a very famous movie called Before Sunrise. Okay.
Yeah,
And in that, it's all about Vienna. It's a very simple movie. It's about two people who are just talking, having nice conversations on the streets of Vienna. And it came in the early 90s and
hmm,
there was a record store that they go to and they've
hmm,
got and that record store they go to a listening room as well so पहले ना
hmm.
listening rooms होते थे छोटे से
Yeah.
cubicle क्या एक या दो people standing जिसमें you can go and put in your headset and listen to all that stuff and that shop is still there imagine that shop is
Oh.
still there after I would say what it's been almost 20 years 24 years now I think more than that 30 साल 40
Hmm,
साल हो गए होंगे अब तो
hmm,
it's
hmm.
to us that's one of on my bucket list to go to that shop and go to that area because again Vienna is orchestral music and all that stuff. But I think I'm hoping, but now I don't know if I'm able to do it myself because the primary business is of course something else. But I'm
Yeah.
hoping ki India does deserve a good big record shop, definitely. I know there's a recently one that's opened in Bangalore, but it's like normal hai, choti hai, like proper. It's not
Yeah, yeah,
huge.
yeah, yeah.
But for that, the audience needs to pump up more and buy more
Hmm.
vinyls, definitely.
Sure, यार, obviously, because if there's a sourcing problem, तुमको forecast करने में भी difficulty होगी to understand कि क्या लेके आए, क्या रखें. You always have to order, back
हाँ,
order and get it.
हाँ.
You
But
cannot always. हाँ,
what we do is
हाँ.
we on a monthly basis we get our stock basically हमारे पास जो स्टॉक आता है मंथली बेसिस पे आता है बेस्ड ऑन द ऑर्डर्स दैट आर तो हम
Right. हाँ.
हमारे पास कुछ स्टॉक में है ऑफ कोर्स बट व्हाट वी यूज्ड टू कीप अ लॉट ऑफ स्टॉक बट व्हाट वी रियलाइज्ड इज बिकॉज इट्स इजियर फॉर अस कि हमारे पास अगर 15-20 ऑर्डर आए हैं जितने भी एक दो हफ्तों में जितने भी आए हैं तो वी
Hmm,
ऑर्डर गेट दैट बैच देन एंड देन फिर अगला बैच 2 हफ्ते बाद या 3 हफ्ते बाद आता है डिपेंडिंग ऑन दी ऑर्डर्स कितने आए हैं so
hmm,
it's
hmm,
more
hmm.
convenient for us as well to, forecast what exactly are people. I would say things like Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon. That's one of the most famous vinyls that's out there. In the Indian market, I would say. In the North Indian
Okay.
market, वो सबसे ज़्यादा, style ना होता है लोगों को Pink Floyd के Dark Side of the Moon. So,
Okay.
some are very common and you can forecast, but some, of course, you really can't.
Yeah.
I mean, लोग ब्रायन एडम्स के कोई पता नहीं कौन सी एल्बम लेते हैं पुरानी वाली people buy classical people buy I mean people buy various sorts of things so of course those are we can't keep all of them in stock but we get that in stock so that's not a problem.
That's awesome, man. So, for somebody like me who is very new to orchestra, orchestral music,
Yeah.
etc., what pieces do you recommend for me to listen to? ताकि मेरा
Ah,
एक इंटरेस्ट बने.
it was funny. Ah,
हाँ,
okay. I will show you one thing.
या.
Uh, it's this one. My most famous guy is John Strauss. John Strauss, basically. It's this guy. Okay. Um, इसके इसके pieces है. I'll tell you, Blue Danube that I was talking about. That's the most famous one, I would say. We've got Tales of, I think, क्या नाम था उसका? Let me see. Yeah, called Tales from the Vienna Woods.
Okay.
That's called. There's very famous one. It's not of Johann Strauss. It's called Second Waltz. So Second Waltz, very famous tune again. You've got And the World Goes On by Anthony
Okay.
Hopkins. बहुत ही सुंदर piece है. Then you've got Swan Lake that we were talking about. One of the most commercial one is Vivaldi's Four Seasons. Okay,
Hmm.
it's a very common one. We didn't actually talk about Vivaldi, but Vivaldi's Four Seasons is one of the very famous जो बहुत लोग perform करते हैं. You can listen to that. So Four Seasons में basically ना उसने एक piece बनाया हुआ है for as it's for every season. So summer, winter, autumn, spring. मतलब एक kind of way to express
Hmm.
that season. मेरा फेवरेट विंटर है बट सबका सबका अलग अलग
अपना
होता है
है।
तो आई वुड से जॉन स्ट्रॉस के यू कैन एक्चुअली लिसन टू एनी ऑफ इट उसके
ओके।
बहुत है यार मतलब यू कैन वियना ब्लड इज वेरी फेमस देन देयर इज a very famous called I can't pronounce it because I think it's in German but the name of it is the drinking song it's a celebration
हाँ,
song
awesome.
ओके
हाँ।
अगेन सो ये इस टाइप के बहुत बनाता था बट आई वुड से द ब्लू डनूब है सब मतलब वो सुना ही सुना होगा you can listen to all these kinds of pieces and music definitely and Andre Ryu के भी अपने pieces है this called snowballs um हाँ but he usually performs a lot of monster stuff so I would say Mozart में इतना नहीं सुनता हूँ so I don't know about Mozart I'll
हम्म।
show you one more thing of Tchaikovsky
Sure.
you're talking about orchestra. I'm just talking about the old one. So I've just got Tchaikovsky concert number one in B in कौन सा वाला है ये? हाँ वही है.
हम्म।
This is this one piece. इसका पूरा
हम्म।
vinyl है. बस एक
हम्म।
piece का. बहुत ये again it's a very
Wow.
famous piece. You can really listen to this. It's really nice. And when it comes to orchestra, um, modern orchestra भी है. So things like Hans Zimmer, John Williams, all these ऐसे बहुत सारे हैं.
हम्म।
Hans Zimmer के कुछ pieces हैं that was we've all listened to Interstellar, we've listened to Cornfield Chase and all that. Day One, I think उसका सबसे famous है.
हम्म।
In Inception, Time.
हम्म।
Listen to
हम्म।
that music. I'll tell you why. Because when I saw Hans Zimmer live, so he ends his orchestras with playing Inception's piece of time. तो टाइम बेसिकली तब प्ले होता है मूवी के एंड में इंसेप्शन के
Yeah.
व्हेन ही
हम्म।
रीच द एयरपोर्ट बिल्कुल लास्ट में दैट
हम्म।
म्यूजिक आई डोंट नो व्हाई आई स्टिल रिमेम्बर द एंटायर ऑडिटोरियम वाज फ्लाइंग फॉर दैट on that piece when he played that
Wow.
including myself पता नहीं क्या पता नहीं क्यों and oh my god people lost mind over when he finished it but again so that's a very beautiful piece that that also signifies accomplishment sometimes
हाँ,
मुझे उससे
हाँ।
फीलिंग आती है लोगों को एक कि हो गया वैसा नहीं होता कि यार अब हो गया मतलब पता नहीं बहुत बहुत डिफरेंट वेज है intro वो करने के तो आई वुड से हांस जिमर के तो यार बहुत है यार उसने तो बहुत टॉप गन का उसने रिसेंटली बनाया है उसने
हाँ,
ओरिजिनल थीम को भी मॉडिफाई करा है लेकिन क्या मॉडिफाई करा है यार बहुत ही बढ़िया है ड्यून ओ माय गॉड पीपल नीड टू लिसन टू ड्यून्स म्यूजिक इट्स रियली अमेजिंग बट या इसके शिंडलर्स लिस्ट तो बहुत फेमस हैं ऑफ कोर्स हैरी पॉटर तो है ही
हम्म।
शिंडलर्स
हम्म।
लिस्ट आर रियली गुड लॉर्ड ऑफ द रिंग्स हॉबिट so all
हम्म।
these also come into orchestral pieces because they've been, they are actually played. Um,
Yeah.
can you imagine Andre Rieu plays and a lot of other orchestra artists they play uh, Can't Help Falling in Love by Elvis Presley. ये
हाँ।
ऐसा गाना जो of course it's a song but
Yeah.
बहुत play करते हैं वो गाना on orchestra. It's very beautiful when people play it. So
That's
there are different
awesome.
pieces I would say people should definitely listen to when it comes to these kind of orchestral things.
Awesome. I think I have a lot of information now, and I would want to personally go and explore the world of orchestra. And it was very exciting for me to learn so much and to listen to your stories. And congratulations on starting an amazing business. And I think vinyl का जो business है, and I hope वो बहुत इंडिया में craze आ जाए उसका, because it's a great
I
thing,
hope
yeah.
so.
Because yeah, you are actually holding the music as you said, and you're listening to literally. I think जैसे तुमने बताया, you would feel that you're in that studio when you're listening to the music on a vinyl.
Exactly, it's
So
the
yeah,
very
I
thing.
think
And it's something to do, like you put on a vinyl, you you listen it on a speaker and all that stuff. I mean, things have a way of coming back. I mean, okay, so things like Pulp Fiction. I'm a big Pulp Fiction fan, as you can see, and मेरे पास उसका भी एक वाइनल है of that movie. And
Yeah.
of course, उसमें music बहुत थे, but that movie is known for dialogues. So what happens is sometimes you put on that vinyl
हाँ.
with the speakers, and you're listening to dialogues and you're listening to music with dialogues of that movie. तो मतलब काफी different feel है,
Yes, yes, yes.
in kind of songs के. Um, so yeah, I would definitely recommend people listening to vinyl, listening to artists like Simon and Garfunkel, like Queen's, AC/DC, Led Zeppelin. Of course, these are very well known. Because metal is a
Sure.
very different thing. Metal is a very different genre altogether.
Sure.
But yeah, and I'll just show you one more thing before I log off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I was talking about a very famous album. I don't know how difficult, मतलब मुझे बड़ा थोड़ा मुश्किल से मिला.
Hmm.
This is John Denver's a very very rare album. It's called
Yeah.
Airy. Um, पता नहीं क्यों इसके गाने makes you feel, I don't know, it reminds you of, इसका एक बहुत फेमस गाना है All of My Memories करके. इसके
Hmm.
गाने हैं केसी लास्ट राइड विच इज उसने कवर करा है किसी और आर्टिस्ट का. देयर आर सॉन्ग्स लाइक फ्लाई अवे, देयर आर सॉन्ग्स लाइक, उसके काफी सारे गाने हैं, बट इसके दो तीन पर्टिकुलर गाने हैं. दे दे रिमाइंड यू अ लॉट ऑफ सनसेट लैंडस्केप्स. ये बहुत नेचुरल आएगा, पता नहीं क्यों.
Okay.
सॉन्ग्स
Huh.
लाइक ऑल ऑफ माई मेमोरीज, इफ यू लिसन टू इट, after seeing, of course, this album cover, is the cover they go and listen to that
Hmm.
song,
Hmm. Hmm.
and
Hmm.
it will remind you that you were somewhere, I don't know, in a landscape watching a sunset. मतलब उस टाइप की फील है इस गाने की. Again, an artist जिसकी singing was, I mean, we all know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he's, I
Huh.
think, less known in Europe. He's a very famous artist in the US. Like John
Yes. Yeah.
Denver, US में बहुत ज्यादा famous था. And तो इसकी कुछ एल्बम्स, दिस वाज अनदर रेयर फाइंड आई गॉट. आई थिंक इट्स थर्ड हैंड नाउ, थर्ड या फोर्थ हैंड होगा, बट दैट डजंट मैटर इन वाइनल्स ऑनेस्टली, एज लॉन्ग एज द कंडीशन इज फाइन. सो
Hmm. Hmm.
आई वुड डेफिनेटली हैव गॉट लॉन्ग रिकमेंडेशंस, तो यार चलते ही रह सकते हैं. बट बट या, दैट्स व्हाट आई वुड टेल पीपल डेफिनेटली when it comes to orchestra, when it comes to music, definitely
Yeah.
this is genre to listen to. Because auto tune तो यार चल ही रहा है बहुत ज्यादा. That's what I know. A lot of artists have started to use an auto tune and बोलते भी हैं यार, मतलब खुला बोलते
हाँ.
हैं अब तो आर्टिस्ट की भी, हाँ we use
बिल्कुल.
auto tune. But what I think is, यार, it's not. I mean, that's something that even I can't sing. But even if I sing and auto tune it, that means I'm singing. But
Yeah.
मतलब
Yeah.
क्यों है ये, मुझे समझ नहीं आता यार. मतलब I don't want
हाँ.
to name artists, but है artists, when you hear them actually listening in talk shows, in live or on TV, मतलब you can
It's
see the
very
difference
different.
कि यार,
हाँ.
and like यार बॉलीवुड में ही आर्टिस्ट लाइक, अभी तो चलो है ही के सोनू निगम. Of course, we've got old artists, we've got Kishore Kumar and all that stuff. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
when you see them listening live or generally like without a setup in a recording studio, मतलब even
It
we
still
all can
sounds
see
great.
क्या difference है यार. कितना difference है as compared to आजकल जो चल रहा है. I think,
Yeah.
and
Sure, man.
that's why even vinyl is coming back with the originality uh in the music it displays.
Hmm. That's amazing, man. Awesome. I think काफी बातें हो गई हैं एंड
हाँ.
मतलब मुझे तो बहुत मजा आ रहा है ये बात करने में. But I would want to go and listen to so many recommendations that you gave. So yeah, I will do that now. And thank you for this episode and taking some time
Thank
out
you,
of
yeah.
your busy schedule.
It's a very interesting thing that you're doing, definitely. Talking about different kinds, styles, or something about music, I would say. So I would say keep it going, definitely. And maybe we'll have another session after a few months you've already had, because we can
Yes,
talk about different aspects of music I mean,
surely.
on
And
and on.
and then I will say that what I learned from the music, and then I will give my recommendations about orchestra music.
हाँ
So,
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल बिल्कुल.
Awesome. On that note, thank you, Dhruv. Thank you so much for your time. And I know
Thanks,
how busy
Vidya.
it is for you, but
It's
thanks a
wonderful.
lot.
नहीं यार, all good for music anytime.
Awesome. Then I'll see you.
Okay, thanks, man.
Okay.
Take
Bye
care.
bye.
Bye.